I remember the story of one of my student. I was taking her interview for my admissions, for my online admissions. And she said that when I joined one institute last time, we were having online sessions. And in that session, while speaking, my teacher interrupted me. And she said that, how many times to tell you not to use have, use has. Don't you understand? Are you dumb? I'm telling you 10th time now. And you are repeating the same mistake again and again. Don't you understand? And then actually her eyes were moist. She was about to cry. I felt so sorry for her. And she said that, sir, it was the worst day of my life. I lost my confidence. I was humiliated. And that day I left that class. Dear friend, this is what happens when someone corrects you in a wrong way, or someone even corrects you. And this is the reason why I do not correct my students. Now try to understand the psychology behind this and try to understand how your language improves. I'll tell you. Usually what do we think is, well, whatever I'm speaking, is it right or wrong? Who is going to judge? Who is going to decide? Who is going to correct me? Because I want to speak correct English. And such students expect the teacher to correct them. Well, initially it looks very good, because if you see on YouTube, everywhere, everyone is correcting your English. They are saying that what not to speak. This is wrong. These tenses are wrong. Everything is about speaking correct. But the fact is, your language cannot be developed in this way. Your language cannot be developed in this way. Your language never develops in this way. I'm using the word language. You can develop a subject in this way by correcting someone, but you cannot develop a language in this way. It's not possible. Wait, I'll give you an example. Well, see, understand, it's very simple. The second language. In India, many of us speak 2 to 3 languages. So your first language, forget that, it's a natural language. Second language, take the second language. Now understand, the second language which you can speak, like I can speak 2 languages. Of course, 3 languages, Marathi, Hindi and English. So let me give you my example of Hindi. When I started speaking my Hindi, initially it was pathetic, horrible. I think it was the year 2000. And then in the year 2003, I still remember that incident. I went to one shop and that guy was from Rajasthan. And while communicating with him in Hindi, he complimented me and he said, "Oh, wow, aapka Hindi to bahut acha hai." This was my compliment. And 2 years before, my Hindi was pathetic. How it improved? Well, what was the reason? Any teacher came and corrected me. I studied Hindi tenses, Hindi grammar. Then how am I Hindi corrected? And the answer lies inside your brain. Inside your brain, there is a mechanism. Language center is there, Broca's area and Wernicke's area. We will not go into detail. We will just understand how it works. Try to understand. The reason why I don't correct my student is this. If I correct my student, I have experienced it. They lose the confidence. They fear of making mistakes. They feel humiliated. And while speaking, now they are constantly thinking about the tenses, the sentences, the correction, the accuracy. And this is not going to help you to form language pattern in your brain, to form the neural connections in your brain. Because your brain will correct your sentences automatically if that brain is exposed to that language for long period of time consistently. Your brain has that mechanism. Only humans have that mechanism, no any other animal. Guys, that's the reason why I do not correct my students while they're speaking. And now let me tell you, I know many of you will object. Maybe if you are a grammar teacher, you will object and you will comment in the comment section that what rubbish you're talking about. I know that happens, but that is my personal experience. That is how my students are improving. And when I don't correct them, they start speaking better English. They make fewer mistakes. See, I'm not saying no mistakes. I'm saying fewer mistakes. And now they have that freedom they get. that no one is there to judge them, no one is there to correct them, and I tell them, I counsel them, and I say that don't worry about mistakes, you just start speaking. And when we don't correct them, our team members don't correct them, and they start speaking, and they're not worried about has or have or has been or have been. They are just following the habits which I have told them, and they just start communicating. Because of the habits, they are able to form better sentences, and slowly they start evolving and start speaking better sentences. In this way they develop. Dear friend, that's the reason why I do not correct my students. This is the main reason, because if I correct, it's an artificial method. It's not a scientific method. They lose their confidence. It never helps them to speak better English. Never. And they feel so humiliated, because in India especially, if someone is correcting your English or criticizing, like that happened with my student, you will never learn that language. Now what happened to that girl? She joined our institute and she's fine now. Of course, I have lost touch with her, but she is fine now. And she is communicating effectively. She is getting, I'm not saying that happy ending and she was perfect and she was very fluent. No, I'm not saying that. She was better. She is getting better. She is improving. She is getting better day in and day out. That is what I wanted to say. All right. How do you think? What do you think about this? Is it rational? Is it logical? Write in the comments and tell me about this. Tell me. And if you are my student, if you have joined my online session, I'm sure that you're going to write your experiences here. I want to ask my online students who have finished my training, nearly 3,000 to 4,000 students have finished this training. Write in the comment, what is your experience? Whatever I have said, does it work or not? You people write there. My students will write there. This is the proof, because you don't trust me, but trust the students, those who have actually experienced it. All right. Happy learning. Keep on getting better, but not perfect in English. Bye-bye.